morning, happy travelers. Greetings from the U.S. Virgin Islands.
If you're just joining us, we've spent the last few days exploring St. John. This morning we decided to get up bright and early and come to Cinnamon Bay Beach. Yesterday we ran into a bit of troubles with crowds a little later, so we wanted to make sure that we had as much time on the beach by ourselves as possible.
Nobody here. Woo! All right. We found a pretty good breakfast spot in the town of Cruz Bay. Doesn't seem like many places do takeaway breakfast, but Cruz Bay Landing has a little coffee counter. Got the same thing yesterday, some waffle breakfast sandwiches, and brought them to the beach.
A lot of the island of St. John is a national park, and it has some really incredible beaches. It can be kind of hard to find a nice little beach spot to yourself. We arrived at this beach at about 8, so hopefully we'll have a little more time here by ourselves.
The plan for today is to check out a couple more of these incredible beaches, and also St. John has a lot of history with sugar plantations, and there's a ton of ruins around the island, so we're hoping to do a couple hikes to check out some of the old ruins that are left over from the sugar plantation days. That'll be fun. Ah! We've been at Cinnamon Bay Beach for over 2 hours now, and maybe like 3 or 4 other couples have shown up, which is far cry from what happened yesterday. Cinnamon Bay Beach is definitely what I recommend if you like to have quite a few less people on the beach with you. I think it's just as beautiful as Trunk Bay. Gorgeous water, nice white sand, jungle around you. 10 out of 10 recommend. We just walked down the beach a little bit this way to take some photos. This might be one of my favorite beaches I've ever been to. The water is beautiful. There's slightly more waves than I was expecting, but I mean, once you get past that, it's very calm. The water's warm, and the sand is like baby powder soft. It's super soft and super white. There's some cool rocks down there to play on. And I think the best feature of all about Cinnamon Bay Beach is there's hardly anyone here. It's still probably less than half of the amount of people that were at Trunk Bay Beach yesterday. So, and also you don't have to pay $5 a person to get in here, which is pretty awesome. Alas, we are departing the Cinnamon Bay Beach. It's also interesting because there are tons of ruins around the beach, not just of sugar plantations, which are kind of all over the island. There's prehistoric and like pre-Columbian ruins too, from the indigenous people that lived here before European settlers came. So that's really cool. Right now in 2021, a lot of it is under construction here at Cinnamon Bay, just because a lot of it was destroyed in the hurricanes in 2017. So they're working on the restaurant, and there's a campground here I think too. So there are some facilities, they're just not open at the moment. These are the normal tourist vehicles. Jeep, Jeep, Jeep. This is our tourist vehicle. And Jeep, Jeep, Jeep. I like our little busted truck. Jeep, Jeep, Jeep. Jeep, Jeep. We came back to our car. We were a little bit peckish, so we had some snacks, which I think will end up being our lunch actually. But across the road from here is a little walking trail to take you to Cinnamon Bay plantation ruins. So this will be our first time seeing some of the sugar plantation ruins that are scattered about St. John. There's tons of hiking trails and ruins near the beaches and places that you can see, so you can pretty much pick and choose where you want to go. But since we just went to that amazing beach, we figured we'd go right across and see those ruins.
Walking through the ruins, we've come across a few remnants of the dwellings from the people that would take care of the factory and run the factory. There isn't much left over now, but there are some different stone structures and staircases that you can still kind of go and explore. And I think this loops around, but it's not very well marked, so we're kind of just wandering, trying to find what we can. There's a few little plaques, but kind of hard to read at this point. Okay, we have made our way back to the truck, and I think we are going to head up the road a little further. There's some more plantation ruins and a great house ruins that we're gonna maybe try to find. Things aren't labeled all that well here, so it's kind of hard to find these things. I haven't really seen a lot of developed trails, and the parking is a little tough as well, so we'll see what we can do, but if we don't find it, then we'll just kind of head to another beach or head back to town. Like Kelly said though, if you want to hit any beaches, definitely go early because the parking lot is completely full now. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've seen a bunch of people driving around trying to find parking spots. When we got here at 8, we were the only people on the beach for a good couple hours, so there's a little pro tip for you. Just down the road a little bit, we've come to the Annaberg Plantation ruins. This is where the road ends, and you can hike along the coast to go to a few more bays and beaches. I think this is one of the best examples of plantations on the island.
Those are definitely the most complete ruins we've seen so far here on St. John. It's definitely a dark part of the history with the slave labor that went on. It's good to at least acknowledge that that was part of St. John's history instead of pretending that it didn't happen, because it did. But it is very hot and humid, so we're gonna head back to our car, and I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Maybe another beach, maybe just head back to town, get a cold drink or something. Today we didn't really have any lunch, so we're deciding to get an early dinner, so it's kind of like happy hour time. This place, Longboard, comes highly recommended. Well, that was a good dinner. I am stuffed now. That place was cute, but it's a little bit more on the pricey side.
Yeah, all the islands are a little more expensive, but that one was a little steep even for here.
Yeah, that was more like LA prices for sure. It kind of depends on where you go. I feel like the drinks aren't as expensive, but the food is pretty much on par with the mainland. But now we're gonna try to park and find a spot to watch the sunset, and then going to go back to our Airbnb for an early night because we have some work to do and we're very tired. So we'll see if we can park, because it's Friday night here in Cruz Bay and
crazy.
It's a little difficult to find parking. We had to circle probably 4 or 5 times before we found a spot, and we didn't even really find a spot. We went into a pay lot, so you can do that if you're desperate.
That was a killer sunset.
I'm glad we did that.
Yeah. It's still going off right now too. But the bugs are starting to come out, and there was a lot of people that were showing up, so we decided to head back to the Airbnb. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We are still in St. John for a few more days, so if you want to subscribe, you can keep following along on our adventure. And on our channel, we have some surprises coming up soon, so you definitely won't want to miss that.
This is Kelly and Kevin from the Awkward Tourists. Peace out. Why people recommend four-wheel drive.
I think we got one coming. Whoa!